Is it Jocelyn or Jocelyn? Jocelyn Marcus Fragada from the uh, Regional Technical Director for Protected Areas and Wildlife and Coastal Zone Management Service, Region 11, Mr. Eduardo Ragaza. From the Regional Technical Director for Protected Areas and Wildlife and Coastal Zone Management Service, Region 12, Haja Didao Piang Brahim. Good morning, ma'am. From the Sarangani Bay Protected Seascape, we have Protected Area Superintendent Diri Makabani. Good morning po. From the Protected Area and Wildlife Division, DENR Region 12, Chief Ali Haji Nasser. Good morning po. From the Provincial Government of Agusan del Sur, representing Governor Adolf Edward Plaza, we have Board Member Hazel del Rosario. Good morning, ma'am. And Mr. Dennis Manglikmot. From the Provincial Government of Aklan, representing the Governor Florencio Miraflores, Attorney Gladys Garcia. Morning, ma'am. From the Provincial Government of Davao Oriental, representing Governor Corazon Malanaon, Ms. Dolores Valdesco. Is here. From the province of Provincial Government of Negros Occidental, we have Governor Alfredo Marañon Jr. Morning, sir. From the city of Silay, Negros Occidental, we have Attorney Cara Aimee Kevenco and Attorney Alore Goles. Hello po. Yes. Okay. From the municipality of Medina, we have Medina, province of Misamis Oriental. We have Mayor Ken Nino Uiguangco. Good morning, sir. Okay. From the municipality of General Luna, province of Surigao del Norte, we have Mayor Alfredo Coro II. Or is Del Carmen? I'm sorry. From the municipality of Del Carmen, province of Surigao del Norte, we have Mayor Alfredo Coro II. Sorry, sir. Okay, and from DENR Penrose South Cotabato, we have Engineer Mama Samaon. Did I acknowledge? From the National Commission on Indigenous People, we have Director Jonathan Adasi. Is it everybody's here now? Okay, that is all, Madam Chair. Okay. Okay, for the record, this committee will be hearing several bills, in particular Senate Bill 1901, Protected Areas Declaration Act of 2013, Senate Bill number 320, Pasonanca Natural Park, Senate Bills 323 and 1407, Siargao Island Protected Landscape and Seascape, Senate Bill 326, Northern Negros Natural Park, Senate Bill number 327, Mount Hilong-Hilong Range Protected Landscape, Senate Bill number 1044, Agusan Marsh Wildlife Sanctuary, Senate Bill number 1045, Turtle Islands Wildlife Sanctuary, Senate Bill number 1047 and 1643, Mount Balatukan Range Natural Park, Senate Bill 1050, Aliwagwag Falls Protected Landscape, Senate Bill number 1051, Balinsasayao Twin Lakes Natural Park, Senate Bill number 1487, Samar Island Natural Park, and Senate Bill number 1654, Northwest Panay Peninsula Natural Park. Okay, that is all, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much to our Committee Secretary, Ms. Mendoza. So I would like to welcome you here. Just as you may have noticed, and we would like to inform you that this is the fourth technical working group or hearing on these bills. Just to explain, there is Senate Bill 1901 filed by Senator Legarda, which is an omnibus bill containing 100 protected areas, of which some of your PAs in your jurisdictions are included. And there are also individual bills filed by other senators. For the guidance of everyone, the intent of Senate Bill 1901 in compiling 100 protected areas is to elevate the level of these 100 protected areas from PAs that are declared as such under presidential proclamation. And upon the technical advice of the BMB, or the Biodiversity Management Bureau of the DNR, and as explained in previous hearings, there is some advantage in enacting legislation so that these areas are protected more fully in terms of funding, in terms of conservation, etc. And this is the purpose of this omnibus bill. And we are also considering the individual bills. And as an output, the committee intends to come up with separate committee reports, meaning each area will have its own Republic Act. That is the vision behind this omnibus bill. So there will be one RA per protected area. And as for preliminaries, as we await the arrival of the chairman and other members of the committee who will be attending this hearing, we would like to ask if everyone here has submitted their position paper, whether they agree or they disagree with the bill as filed. And we would like to request you to submit within a certain deadline to be given during the course of the hearing. The position papers may be submitted to the committee, but this is also a venue for everyone to state here for the record their comments, and especially issues that they have in the protected areas that they are handling, issues in terms of conflicts, threats to the PA, which we would like to hear from you now. Environmental, or is there conflicts with tenured migrants, IPs, and so on. So may we hear from anyone in the panel, please? Who would like to start? Okay, so Director Mandita Lim of BNB would like to give her statement now.
Thank you, Attorney Rachel. Just to add to what was explained, we actually thank, of course, Senator Lauren for filing Bill 1901. And actually, the intention, just the background, is we have had only, since NIPAS was passed, we've only had 13 protected areas that were enacted. So, because of Senator Lauren's encouragement, we thought that to be able to secure the remaining 100 that has been proclaimed, it would be good to already have an Omnibus Republic Act that will allow us to finally determine which areas should be placed as national park under the Constitution. So with this, we're hoping that the ones that have already been proclaimed, which this means they have already there's already executive decision that these are the ones that should be secured as a protected area or as national park, will now be once and for all be enacted. From our experience in the past as well, if it is just proclaimed, we have certain protected areas that has been proclaimed, and then if there is a change of mind at the executive level, it is easily the proclamation is easily revised or amended. So with an RA, where an omnibus law that will allow us to establish once and for all the 100 areas, then the classification would be more permanent and would allow the national government as well to secure additional funding, as was mentioned by Attorney Herrera. Thank you.
Madam Chair, maybe. In addition to the statement of Director Liam, we are also encouraging everybody in this room to, if meron pa po kayong additional protected areas sa nasasakupan nyo po na wala dun sa listahan po ng 100 bills, and it had undergone the what we call yung protected area suitability assessment, or the whole process of declaring or establishing a protected area, please submit lang po kay Director Lim, and para po ma-include siya dun sa gagawin po nating establishments if possible po, because as we have said po, may mga dun sa mga previous hearings po kasi ng committee, meron pa pong mga suggestions or recommendations po from other stakeholders na to include yung mga protected areas pa po sa kanila na wala dun sa listahan ng yung Senate Bill 1901. So we are encouraging everyone, kung meron po, to submit to Director Mundita Lim po ng BMB yung mga datas nyo po para ma-assess ng BMB, and so maisama po natin sa mga for enactment. Okay, that is Madam Chair.
Thank you, Ms. Mendoza. So again, I would like to solicit for comments from all our guests, and we know you have come a long way from Region 6 all the way down to the ARM. And by the way, this is the 4th hearing, meaning this is the cluster for Visayas and Mindanao, and the first 2 hearings were for areas in Luzon, including Palawan. And we had some spirited discussions from the last hearings, because our resource person shared problems which they encountered in their areas. And for now, we'd like to ask the mayors, the Penros, the Reds, what issues should the committee be aware of? Threats, environmental claims, or IP claims that are in conflict with the management plan, and so on. So this is now the time that you can state for the record the issues that we must be aware of. Director Adasi of the NCIP.
Good morning, Madam Chair. In the proposed or this 1901, while it mentioned about in Section 8 ancestral lowlands and domains, we see no definition of the same. Under the definition of terms, may I respectfully suggest that the ancestral lands and domains be defined. Okay. Second, Your Honor, Madam Chair, that may we respectfully suggest that there's a statement or provision in the perhaps repealing clause or the final clauses which state that nothing in this law will be interpreted to amend or repeal RA 8371. And lastly, Madam Chair, we'll be consulting our people on this, on the people on the ground, especially the IPs on these issues. Thank you.
Thank you. Of course, if there is time needed to study the bills more thoroughly, you will be granted by the committee enough time to submit the position paper. Do we already have a deadline as given in the previous hearings? Ms. Wala.
As far as I can remember, ma'am, wala pa po.
Reasonable.
A month is reasonable na po. You have until end of August to come up with your recommendations, additional protected areas to be established. So, until end of August po.
Madam Chair, additional lang po. Yes, we will be submitting a specific or sa mga identified areas, some details or about this sa marami po kasi ito magsasubmit po kami.
Good morning.
Mr. Javier, please.
Good morning po, Madam Chair. in as much as the PA system includes proclaimed watershed, mangrove reserves, and fish sanctuary, can we include in our recommendation all the proclaimed areas for this purpose? Because I have seen the list, the 100 PAs. It did not include any proclaimed watershed and mangrove reserves. And there are many proclaimed watershed and mangrove reserves in our jurisdiction, Region 8.
Mr. Javier, do you mean the PAs that are already under presidential proclamation, that are not in the list?
Yes, Madam Chair. In as much as the definition of protected area system, the system includes proclaimed watershed and mangrove reserves, including fish sanctuaries. That's what I mean. Can we include them in the list?
Your recommendation is duly noted, sir. But just to clarify, the 100 areas in Senate Bill 1901 are those that have been proclaimed by the President as such, but are not yet legislated. And the ones that you might like to add, please do submit to the committee and explain their status. Or we may request again for the opinion of the BMB on the additional items.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Actually, as Ms. Mendoza mentioned earlier, this will be all the other areas that have not yet been proclaimed, but we feel that it should be part of the bill, will be eventually submitted to us, and we will process it so that it can be included. The other option that Senator mentioned from last time is that it can be a follow-up bill, separate bill. Thank you.
Madam Chair, what I am talking is those areas that are already proclaimed by the President as mangrove reserves, watershed reservation, and fish sanctuaries that are not included in the 100 list.
I think we may need to get technical clarification. Are these mangrove reserves, sanctuaries, protected areas as legally construed in the NIPAS?
Yes, Madam Chair. Actually, these are initial components. So they have proclamations, but prior to NIPAS. Yes. So they will be actually they are still in the process of being proclaimed by under the NIPAS. So they're still in the process of being issued a proclamation, a presidential proclamation under NIPAS. So we are processing those at the moment, and of course we expect the regions to submit all of this so that we can duly endorse them if they indeed qualify as part of the omnibus.
Madam Chair, I propose that because under the explanatory note, paragraph 3, the NIPA system includes those categories: proclaimed watershed, mangrove reserves, fish sanctuaries, historical landmark protect, as well as identified virgin forest. There are identified virgin forests prior to the enactment of the NIPAS law. Are these areas will this be included also in this omnibus bill?
Yes, Mr. Javier, as instructed by the chair in previous hearings, areas identified as having value, or as you mentioned, these watershed areas, mangrove sanctuaries, these, if not yet proclaimed under the NIPAS as PAs, they will be considered in any case upon the technical study of the BMB and their recommendation afterwards to the committee. So apart from the 100, there may still be additional areas that will be reviewed by the committee, and if allowed under the rules and upon the recommendation of our agencies, they will be there will be drafted a committee report for these specific areas. So again, we ask all of you to submit if you have additional areas that you want to be considered for the passage of these laws to be included.
Madam Chair, may I also, in addition to the inclusion of other protected areas or other areas that needs to be protected, may I also, the committee also encourages everyone here to submit kung ano po yung mga na-encounter nyo po, ano problems, kung di man po problema, issues or concerns. Meron pong, let's say, there are certain structures or development na po dun sa protected area na kailangang mabigyan ng concern po natin. Kailangan pong maisama sa gagawin po nating batas. So, in-encourage po namin ang lahat na mag-submit po sa committee ng mga recommendations nyo or yung mga issues and concerns at kung ano po ang nakikita nyong magandang solusyon. Let's say, meron po kasing I think last meeting po, July 9, there was an issue raised by the PAFID that a certain group or a certain IP or ICs in Coran, Palawan is not amenable to the yung PAMBI po ng protected area dun sa lugar na yon is not amenable na PAMBI ang mag-head ng area nila, since this is, as they claim, this is an ancestral domain or ancestral land. So, ina-encourage po namin ang lahat na yung mga ganun pong issues. So, gusto po namin malaman kung ano po ang mga, since kayo po ang nasa ground, alam nyo po kung ano ang nangyayari sa lugar nyo po, kung ano mga problema. Kung hindi man po problema, mga concerns po na dapat na ma-actionan po through sa paggawa dun po dun sa batas, maisama natin sa batas para maging malinaw po, maayos ang implementasyon po nito sa ground. Kasi based nga po sa pag-aaral ng committee, maganda po minsan yung intention ng batas pero nagkakaroon po ng problema sa implementasyon dahil hindi po minsan na kikita sa hindi po nakakarating sa committee yung kung ano yung tunay na nangyayari sa ground dun sa lugar. So, kung maganda po sana kung mabibigay niyo po sa committee yung mga ganon, mga ganong sitwasyon po para mapag-aralan po ng committee. Magkaroon po tayo ng tinatawag na win-win solution na wala pong disadvantage, wala pong advantage, but both sides pa. Ayun lang pa, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Ms. Mendoza. Yes,
Madam Chair.
ma'am. Haja Piang Brahim, ma'am.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. Good morning, everyone. In Region 12, we have one issue within the non-protected landscape. Part of the PA has been covered by CLOA, issued by DAO, and therefore they are having human activities within the CLOA area, which is within the PA. So, ang nangyayari po, meron po cultivation sa CLOA, meron na mga infrastructure na pinapatayo, but within protected area. So, ang gusto sana ay magkaroon ng kalinawan, ano ba yung meron sa pagitan ng CLOA at sa protected area. Dahil ipinipilit po namin it's a protected area, but the awardees would always tell us that the area has been awarded to them and therefore they have the freedom to do whatever they want to do with their awarded area. So, sa ngayon, yun yung pinaproblema ng matutong protected landscape. In the meantime, the DNR is conducting an inventory of temporal instruments issued within the PA so that we can refer this to the PANBI and eventually to the Joint Steering Committee perhaps, the committee which is composed of the DNA, the DAR, the NCIP, and the LRA. So sa ngayon po, nag-inventory pa po kami and eventually we will come up with the solution, but still dahil yung CLOA naman meron din yung sinusunod na batas yun and ang NIPAS din sinusunod din natin. How are we going to reconcile with these two laws? So thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay, in case of a conflict with residents that have been awarded a CLOA and their activities are in conflict with the management plan, maybe ask the BMB what is to be done in such a case.
Actually, Madam Chair, as far as we're concerned, since it's a protected area and it has been established because of its ecological importance, then necessarily activities within that area should be consistent with the intention of establishing that area to maintain ecosystem service and to act as buffer for disaster and climate change. So the activities should not be inconsistent with that objective. However, we admit that there are protected areas where we have received reports that there are CLOAs that has been issued also within protected areas, and this is already a subject of convergence activity with the DAR. So at the moment we are already trying to address this, and it's important for the regional offices to submit to us the list of the protected areas, as well as if they are able to obtain listing of the CLOAs that were issued within the protected area. It would help us in addressing this issue together with the Department of Agrarian Reform, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Director Lim. Yes, and we have another comment from the NCIP.
This in relation to that issue. Tama po sinasabi ng kaibigan natin sa Region 12. We have this joint administrative order by and between and among these four agencies, land issues foremost, between DAR, DNR, LRA, and NCIP, because we have areas that these are protected areas, but we have ancestral domains and there are CLOAs. So we have a mechanism for that, yung nababanggit po kanina, joint administrative order among these four agencies, interfacing, reclassification, or harmonizing these laws. That is for the information. So if these are issues na that can be handled by these committees, pwede po namang i-handle yun for the information po of the body. Thank you.
And would you know, sir, just for the information of everyone, who is the deciding authority in such case, or is there an interagency council as we usually?
Yes, sir. Tier po ito, we have the provincial level if they will try to resolve between the provincial. If not, it can be elevated to the regional. If not, it can be elevated to the national committee, which is headed by the respective secretaries. So because this JAW is signed by Secretary Pahe, signed by LRA, by DAR Secretary Reyes, and the chairman of the NCIP. Now, there are other issues that cannot be resolved. For example, there are issues that pertain really, for example, for the cancellation of CLOAs. That issue is really for the Secretary of the DAR. Nasa jurisdiction po niyan. But then this committee can at least aid or assist DAR Secretary by coming up with credible documents to that effect. But if this can be resolved within the lower levels, mare-resolve po yan. We have the case, for example, of this Tampakan CLOAs, this Tampakan area, wherein yung sa SMI mining, we have ancestral domain, merong forest area, pero may CLOA. And then these CLOAs are registered. So, ganyan po ang issue na nire-resolve yung this joint administrative order.
Thank you, sir. And we have Assistant Secretary Canizal of the DOT.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This is more not a concern, but just an expression of support to proposed bill 1901, or the Omnibus Declaration of Protected Area System. based on our National Tourism Development Plan, one of our strategic direction there is in terms of ensuring the protection and conservation of the natural environment, because these are very important tourism assets. And over the years, we've noticed that many of our natural assets which should have been protected are not being protected but are being neglected for protection and conservation. And that's why we welcome very much this initiative, because more or less it will give us certainty in terms of which areas do we need really to develop for tourism, and at the same time which areas are really important for us to promote to the international and to the domestic market. And at the same time, it will also give us opportunity in terms of how we can support the protection by ensuring that the necessary infrastructure and product development along these areas that will create jobs for local communities, either within or outside of the protected areas, can be provided, so that again, some of the issues that may crop up will be properly addressed. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, ASEC. And I would just like to inform the panel that in the previous hearing there was a representative also from TIEZA, and she explained that in fact the DOT and TIEZA have programs that can provide support to the LGUs in the promotion of the protected areas, because in the previous hearing it was the mayor from Sibuyan Island who lamented that the island was very beautiful and they had so much to offer, but they did not have the facilities, the funds for the promotion. And in fact, I think they were linked together, the TIEZA representative and the mayor. So this can also be an opportunity for our LGUs here now to access maybe or find links within this group, so that you can have more support for the promotion of your tourist zones in your province. I call Ms. Valdesco of Davao Oriental, Penro.
Good morning, Madam Chair. Good morning, everyone. I am Environmental Planner Dolores Valdesco of the Province of Davao Oriental. My concern is still about the conflicting land uses within protected areas, because like our Mount Hamilton Wildlife Sanctuary, which was just inscribed as World Heritage Site, with extension, because the recommendation of the World Heritage Committee was to extend the site, and now the extended site covers MPSAs, and the guidelines of the World Heritage Committee should have the site free from exploration, and yung tanong nila MPSA na. And paano yan? Paano natin masusunod yung guideline ng World Heritage Committee na may conflict siya? And especially, meron naman siguro pong taga-LGB dito. Kasama po ang Sinophil mining. Yung iba, ibibenta na daw, but maliit na lang na part ng tenement ang located outside the buffer zone. The whole area, the largest area is in the extended site. Anyway, local lang naman, but it's kasama na yan is the basis for the inscription nga na extended na nga yung site. At saka, we are being encouraged by UNESCO to have the whole province inscribed as Biosphere Reserve, because it is identified as part of the Eastern Mindanao Biodiversity Corridor. So, parang the whole province is being occupied na by tenements of large-scale mining. And yun nga po ang isang concern of the protected areas ng Davao Oriental, because of the 11 PAs in the region, parang 5 yung nasa amin. So, that's all, Madam Chair.
Good morning. Let my staff suspend the TWG, and we will technical working group, and we'll convert it to a continuation of our hearing. No, it's not a new hearing. Oo, okay.
The Technical Working Group Committee is hereby suspended. Madam Senator.
Let me just state that the technical working group will continue after I have adjourned today's hearing, because we will convert all the TWGs all after today's hearing. It will be a continuation of TWG to fine-tune the committee report, right? Hindi pa adjourned yung TWG. Okay. So welcome to our friends from the Visayas and Mindanao, despite the rains. As you all know, this is a continuation of a hearing for protected areas, 100 of them, which are part of NIPAS but needs individual legislation. I will not repeat anymore what has been asked of you. May I request from Ms. Dolores Valdesco to just continue with what you're saying. You're the assistant, Penro. Oh, did I meet you when I went 2 weeks ago?
Unfortunately, ma'am, I was in the vegan meeting of the World Heritage Committee Management.
Anong meeting po?
World Heritage Committee.
I see.
Yung mga chairman ng World Heritage in the Philippines.
Very good. Okay, sa vegan ng meeting. That's a very well-managed UNESCO site. Oo. Sino kayo po ang assistant Penro? Sino po ang Penro?
Ito yung assistant and po ito, ma'am, devolved functions ng provincial government. I am the representative ni Governor po.
I see. Who's the Penro?
The Penro. Our regional director of the DNR
Regional
is
Director.
here.
I met you, di ba? We had a meeting. Okay. Wala kayong Penro of Davao Oriental?
Meron po, ma'am. But we attend, my RTD and I attended today. I'm not aware of the invitation of the Penro, madam.
The Penro of Davao Oriental was not invited? Invited. Because he was also absent when I went there.
He was on leave.
Wait. Doesn't the Penro report to the regional director? How is it?
Yes, ma'am.
Should you not know his whereabouts?
Of course, ma'am. He's in Davao Oriental now, and I asked also the secretariat if he was invited, because apparently no invitation got to his office. But both of us were invited.
That's fine that you're here. Okay. So you will be competent to address the concerns in Mount Hamagitan?
Yes, madam.
Yes, thank you. Just continue. I will just listen. Thank you. Patuloy lang po.
So that's the concern of the PAs in Davao Oriental. Because for the information of our honorable senator, we'll be pushing for the biosphere reserve nomination of the whole province na, because sayang din, it is a part of the Eastern Mindanao Biodiversity Corridor, kaya lang mas nauna yung tenants ng mga MPSAs.
Clarify ko lang po, because when I was there were reports that there was logging and mining in the areas declared as protected area in Mount Hamingitan. So is this accurate, or is it outside the declared area? Who can answer that? Either the assistant Enro or the regional director. Yes. Are these really in existence? Did you allow them to do that? Do they have permits, or are you doing it illegally? And if they're doing it illegally, why are you allowing them to do it illegally? Thank you.
Good morning, madam. With regards to the logging issue, inside the protected area, there are no logging issues po. We don't issue any tree cutting permits within the protected area of Hamigitan. For the mining issue, as mentioned by Ms. Dolores earlier, before the Mount Hamigitan was inscribed into the World Heritage Site, there was one of the concerns that there were mining tenements already inside. Because one of the requirements of UNESCO was to expand the area of Hamigitan for it to be considered World Heritage Site. So, we proposed the expansion. There were already approved mining tenements in the expanded area. But one good thing about it, before it was inscribed, the final requirements or criteria of UNESCO World Heritage was that they would be able to seek a commitment from the mining company in the proposed expanded area that they would actually have some sort of rehabilitation, if ever. But as of now, there are commitments already from the two mining tenements, knowing that now Mount Hamigitan is now inscribed into the World Heritage Site, madam. So yun po yung isa sa mga hiningi ng UNESCO na parang commitment po dun sa mga mining company, dun sa proposed expansion po, dun sa Mount Hamigitan.
Are you happy with that answer? Does it address the concerns of the province?
Maybe for now, because wala pa namang actual operation. But specific po kasi ang statement ng World Heritage Committee to exempt the site from any exploration, including energy exploration. Na alam naman natin na provided for yan ng NIPAS na pwedeng mag-explore ng energy. But itong statement ng World Heritage Committee, wala daw talagang exploration on any extractive activities, particularly that the site is inscribed under Criterion 9, which is in situ conservation of species. Kaya very sensitive ang area.
Not just no mining and no logging, but no energy exploration even.
Opo, ma'am. Ito po yung statement ng World Heritage Committee, part ng pag-inscribe sa area.
Who is tasked with preserving and overseeing the whole Hamigitan mountain range? The UNESCO site. Is it the LGU or DNR?
On the NIPAS declared, yung original na mga, it's covered by PAMBI. Pero itong extended local declaration na po, and we're still formulating and crafting a management arrangement na parang magiging alliance siya. Kasi meron din po yung area. So,
I was not here earlier, no? Did you actually mention that there was logging and mining within the site? And did you actually name the persons or companies who were doing that within the Hamigitan site? Did you put it on record, please?
No, wala kasi kaming data on logging. Walang logging. Ang concern namin is itong mining. Yes,
I put on record what specific areas in Hamigitan and in what municipalities? Diba sakop ng Hamigitan?
Governor Generoso. It's in Governor Generoso kasi ito yung municipality na nagbigay ng napakalaking area for the extension ng site.
Sabi lang po on record, anong mining companies at sino ang namamahala? Kung factual, ha?
Yes, ma'am. Makikita po yun sa tenement map. It's Sunfield Mining. At saka diba, yung itong mga mining tenement holders, they have auxiliary rights over the forest sa area. So, considering that the forest is the feeding ground or habitat, part of the habitat ng Philippine eagle, yun yung reason for the extension ng site as hiningi ng UNESCO.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to understand what you're saying. Walang present extractive operation, walang exploration or actual mining. It's initial stages of tenement housing of the mining companies. Is that what you're saying?
Awarded na po sa kanila yung MPSA. And anytime that
the award was given before NIPAS 92 or between NIPAS and or before UNESCO. Who is MGB here? Sino MGB? Saan? Okay. Oo. Kayo muna. Sa pagkaalam po nyo, itong mining tenements, so there's no actual mining yet.
Anong pinoclaim?
Wala pa sila, but they're already awarded MPSA.
Awarded. When were they awarded? After NIPAS? And does NIPAS allow mining? Opo. MGB. Did you?
Good morning.
Yes. Good morning. I just wanted to say hello to Governor. Malawak po ito, Visayas Mindanao, pero papagsalitaan ko po kayo.
Yes, ma'am. Before I answer the questions on the issues raised, I would like to propose or say the stand of MGB, particularly to all the Senate bills, that the Mines and Geosciences Bureau's minor reservations about the proposed Senate bills, particularly those bills that don't recognize prior rights, only Senate bills number 1901
326, 1050, and 1487 expressly recognize prior rights and private rights. Also, the closing of these proposed protected areas to mineral exploration need not be absolute because the serious implications to national interest. The MGB therefore suggests that these bills contain the following provisions: that the national government shall maintain the authority to conduct mineral exploration in any part of the protected areas and eventually allow mining projects when the national interest so requires, such as when there is a need to determine the presence of and make available strategic raw materials for industries critical to national development
just a minute.
or certain minerals.
Yeah, when the when the national interest so requires, these are the amendments that you are requesting to be included?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We are not declaring the whole Philippines as protected areas, so you can mine elsewhere. Why would you choose to mine in declared protected areas?
Ma'am, as you all know that our country is very unique. What if there are rare earth element, for example, in a protected area, or in there?
You mine elsewhere. Find another place.
Okay, ma'am.
Why? How much does mining contribute to the national coffers? What percentage of GDP?
Or less than 1%.
Oh, magugutom ba tayo kung walang pagmimina? Sa protected areas, I am not against development or progress, I'm talking about the declaration of protected areas, and you're saying we should even amend the bills to include mining in protected areas. Hindi naman yung buong 30 million hectares ng Philippine Archipelago ang dinedeclare ng protected areas. Selected because of endemism, biodiversity, etc. Gusto pa yung magmina hanggang dun. Mayaman ang Pilipinas, may ibang lugar na nagmina na kayo.
Yes, ma'am. Kasi ma'am, ako geologist po ako. So, kami po.
I respect scientists, I respect geologists.
Inaalam po lang namin kung saan meron, but not necessarily proceed to
Dito po,
mining.
gusto ko matuto. Lahat na nakahain na 100 na gagawin kong RA under the proposed, remember, this was your agency, DNR, that asked me to file this, So you're part of the DNR.
Yeah.
So you better get your act together because you are protecting but you're also exploiting. So it was a DNR that asked me to file this bill to declare the 100 protected areas under NEPAs remaining into RAs. In your draft bill of the omnibus, Mundita, correct me if I'm wrong, does it include allowing mining? No. So, okay, you better get your act together, DNR. Why would the DNR ask me to file this bill declaring 100 protected areas as such, and another bureau under the same agency would ask me to allow mining? You should have consulted each other, Biodiversity Bureau and Mines and Geosciences Bureau, and not come to the same hearing and telling me, ma'am, file this for us, protected areas, ma'am, include mining here. So, can I hear from Biodiversity Director Mundita Lim, in the proposed measure, which I have been hearing all these months, are you mandating, are you allowing, are you promoting mining in protected areas? Because your Assistant Director of MGB is saying that we should amend it as such. I'm confused because you're from the same agency.
No, ma'am. We actually will not allow mining within protected areas.
Very clear. You need not say more. Under the proposed bills, 100, under the omnibus, which I will craft into individual legislation. So all of you, LGUs, whether you are from Negros Occidental or from Davao Oriental, you will own that RA which belongs to you. Kaya ako naghihirap dito, hinihir ko ang buong Pilipinas. And this draft came from Department of Environment and Natural Resources. Let's get it clear. Which I'm hearing so that nahihimay-himay po natin anong dapat gawin. But remember, we're not just protecting, we are practical people. We will respect opinions of others. But please be consistent. How can another bureau from the same department tell me, Mandita, you're telling me there's no mining, but your MGB tells me it should be amended to include mining. Can you please meet with Secretary Pahe and you better determine what you're asking me to hear?
Actually, this is also the position of Secretary Pahe when we had the...
Okay, let's stop there. The MGB is under DNR. Why is your assistant director telling me to include mining from this hearing? Visayas, the other areas will be hostage because of this. I am upset. I hope you all understand that you're one family. You should coordinate. Now you tell me let's include mining. So am I declaring a protected area to be mining zones?
Madam Chair.
Ma'am, now Assistant Director is explaining to me that the position that they are taking is only the respect of prior rights. So it doesn't mean that if it's a new application, then they will not approve it.
Yeah.
So it's only referring to the areas that are covered.
Explain to me the draft bill given by DNR to me. It respects prior rights.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you say that earlier? Oh, that was only your position. You clarify it. Can you put it in writing so that it's clarified? Okay. Governor, you were saying something?
Thank you, Madam
We
Chair.
welcome you to the Senate. Yeah.
We would like to congratulate you for
Ay, Gov Daisy, nandiyan pala kayo. Yeah.
your splendid effort in drafting this bill. I'm speaking on behalf of the Northern Negros Natural Park, which used to be 100,000 hectares. It used to have a forest cover of 100,000 hectares.
Andali po. Governor, we are going to Negros already. Can I just finish Hamigitan po?
Okay.
I thought you were going to comment on that.
I would like to comment. You perfectly said when you said mining and exploring.
Ano po? I'm sorry. Pakiulit po.
You said perfectly when you said mining and exploring.
And exploring. Sige po, we will get to you po, and we'd like to recognize Governor Daisy Fuentes. I assume that everybody's been recognized before I arrive. Did Gov Daisy just arrive now? Okay. So siya lang hindi na-recognize. O sige. Gusto ko lang maliwanag kasi, no? Maliwanag na nagkakaintindihan tayo. And in your proposed measure of the 100, it recognizes prior rights. I still have to study that in a TWG with the league, because yes, we must respect prior rights. Ibig sabihin yan, papano sa Hamigitan nga sa Negros? We respect prior rights, fine, but the UNESCO states ni energy exploration wala. We will lose a UNESCO inscription if that's the case.
Ma'am, if I may po. Madam Chair, the issue in Hamigitan, as you mentioned earlier, there are mining tenements there in the proposed expanded area, meaning the expansion area of 26,000 hectares is still not part of it. That's why one of the requirements of UNESCO, because we drafted the final requirements and we submitted to the Governor Malanyahon, was the fact that we would get a guarantee or a commitment from this mining company that they would be willing to probably accede to the fact that this expanded area is already part of the World Heritage Site. And they gave their commitment, Senofil and the other company. So it was one of the major requirements of UNESCO. So I would assume that the UNESCO wouldn't actually consider it or inscribe it if it was truly a threat already.
Okay, just a question. I'd like the legal eagles to study this. Although the draft bill of the DNR respects prior rights, I would like to know in all the 100 protected areas who will be affected if prior rights or whatever reservations for exploration, for mining, and for logging are suspended. Because I want the protected areas to be fully protected without any mining or logging or any extractive industry. So in short, I'm not declaring it will be such. The ideal RA would be no movement except protection of biodiversity. So amending what DNR has given to me will even be stricter. Because when you say respect prior rights, fine. Maybe because I'm not a lawyer, they'll say, why is she like that? So that's why I'm going to ask them and ask maybe an opinion from the Supreme Court. Has there been any jurisprudence in the past where prior rights were suspended because the paramount is national interest. Paramount because we're already a biodiversity hotspot. While we respect prior rights, we must also respect the interest of human beings to survive. We respect the mining community, and you can mine elsewhere, but these are protected areas, and we must assess ilan ba yan ang maaapektuhan sa pagmimina, sa paglalaging, sa pag-exploration, etc. Kung lahat ng 100 ay may 100 nandyan na bago pa man 1992, sige, pag-aral natin kung re-respetuhin. Pero kung iilang lang naman, baka kaya naman kung meron jurisprudence sa Supreme Court na nangyari na ito. Oh, meron ba? Wala pa. We will see. It may be the first time. Who knows? We will see. Oh, agree na si Assistant Director. Kanina gusto mo mag-mine sa lahat ng protected area eh. Explore. Bakit ka mag-explore kung di ka rin mag-mine? Huwag ka na for future. Who said the future? Pag future, pag RA, pag batas na, hindi na. Protektado na yun. Sige. Did you want to finish what you're gonna say? You just submit it to the committee, please. Okay. How about kayo? Tapos na sa hamigitan? So, maliban sa Sinophil, sino pa ho ang dyan? May mining tenements?
Wala na po, ma'am, kasi...
isa lang?
Yung Biliton is outside na, outside of the...
No, we're talking within. Isa lang?
Isa lang.
Sino ba yung mga yon?
Yun lang pong Sinophil.
Sino nga yung Sinophil?
It's Sinophil. Yun lang naka-register sa amin. Sinophil Mining, may MPSA na. And
when was it granted, the MPSA?
To be honest, I'm not sure when was granted. I think during the time of Secretary Ramos prior.
Matagal na.
1990s. Yeah, 1990s.
But they're not operating. Nothing.
They're not operating. And we heard that they're dealing it na daw. Parang ibebenta na outside. But their MPSA is already there. I think that was in 2009.
Okay.
Madam?
Remind me, you get my cell phone. Text me directly. Any movement of logging, of mining in Hamigitan, i-report nyo sa akin.
Madam?
Ma'am, no, really, Region 11, DNR, please be very, very vigilant.
Yes, madam.
Because imagine you are the only mountain range in the whole country declared as UNESCO site, and you are the 6th. You should be so proud of that, and you should guard it like you guard your wife and your children.
Yes, madam.
And tell your Penro, twice na yan absent, When I was there, he was also absent, and now he's absent again unless he didn't receive, unless he's a suspended Penro. Is he suspended?
No, madam. No.
Is he cooperating with the governor or with the DNR?
Yes, madam. Yes, madam.
Parang kulang na commitment.
Ma'am, dagdagan ko lang po yung...
Nasaan yung inyong yung MGB nyo? Nabigay na ba ng mga hazard maps?
Kompleto na po, madam.
No. Nabigay, pero pinaliwanag naman sa LGUs na 49 ng buong Region 11.
Yes, ma'am. Nagka-ano lang ho siya nun.
Sige, mag-spot check ako ng mga mayor sa Region 11 kung nag-lecture na si MGB.
Hindi po, lecturing po. Yun na, pero disseminated.
Ibang hearing yun sa micromanage natin pagbibigay ng mga geohazard map. Sige, ano ngayon?
Tapos, i-finalize ko lang namin yung sa Davao Oriental. Actually po, kausap ko rin si Governor Malañao about that issue because one of our concerns was to actually protect Hamagitan as a World Heritage Site since it's UNESCO declared already. And actually, ang Sinophil po, it's not actually still a threat because it's not within the declared protected area.
It's not. You clarify. Please give me accurate information.
Yes, ma'am. So, actually, kaya nga po ang UNESCO pumayag na inscribe yan. They only got the commitment that just in case tumama po yung expanded area doon, the mining company would accede to the fact that it's now a UNESCO World Heritage Site and would be more concerned about the protection of that World Heritage Site. So, technically po now, hindi pa talaga po siya threat doon po sa Hamigitan per se because it's not inside Hamigitan. Yun lang po.
Why did you say it's inside?
It's outside. The NIPAS declared as yung original na mga 7,000 hectares. Then, UNESCO recommend for extension, nakasama siya sa extension na yun na yung na-inscribe. Kasi hindi na-inscribe yung NIPAS declared lang, yung RA 9303. In-extend pa bago na-inscribe. So, nakasama na yung tenement area ng Sinophil.
Yes, thank you for that. I think that you should coordinate with each other so that you're on the same page. Just like DNR, the bureaus, unless I misunderstood, and I'm sorry if I did, should always be on the same page so that what are we talking about? Because I cannot measure and I don't know what areas are covered by the NIPAS and what is covered by the UNESCO. So is a cenophile within UNESCO, within NIPAS, or outside of both? That has to be ascertained so that we know what we're talking about. If they're out, they're out. If they're within, then they must be suspended. No, I mean they must be, if there's no operation anyway, it would be best that they don't continue with that on account of the UNESCO declaration. Yeah. Okay. Yes, may we hear po from Governor. So from Mindanao, we go to the Visayas first. Governor Marañon, may I know ano po yung area na pinapadeclare nyo as protected area? What has been declared a protected area? It doesn't mean that we will neglect the other areas of Mindanao. You will also be heard, and we assume that all position papers have been submitted to the committee.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This is the Northern Negros Natural Park, which was proclaimed as a protected area by President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo in 2005, consisting of 80,000 hectares, composed of 6 cities and 5 municipalities in the northern part of Negros Island. We fully support your move that there should be an omnibus bill regarding the 100 protected areas, but we would like to request that the Northern Negros Natural Park should have a specific law, because we have specific problem and we have different needs, and we have some suggestion that as to the composition of the involvement of the governors, the governor as chair of the PAMBI and the PIMO and PENRO as the ex officio members. And also there are to allocate a certain area for the town site of municipality of Don Salvador Benedicto as a buffer zone, and also a startup fund of at least 20 million pesos to start the
thank you for your, first of all, for being here, and second, for your interest and your support of our measures. I just want to clarify with my staff, the COMSEC and my lawyer, that was also the concern of the other LGUs in the last hearing, that they wanted individual RAs. Kaya natin gawin yun, no? Even if we filed omnibus measure. How will we do it, na? Inda?
One committee report po, but several.
So the hearings, just to clarify with everyone, because I explained it last time to the mayors and the governors who were here, because they also wanted to own individual legislation. Let me just clarify that these are all already protected areas under NIPAS, correct, in 1992. But it needs individual legislation for it to be, recognized and funded under GAA, and to have a management committee, what do you call it? A management board, a PAMBI. And so I'm just hearing it by batch, per geographical regions, because it would have been very difficult for me to hear for 100 hearings. It would take forever when these are areas which are threatened. So sinama-sama ko po Visayas, Mindanao, and Luzon, etc. So the hearings are in batches, but the committee report will be individual. 100. The bills. No, we filed just one bill for omnibus.
Yes,
ano yun?
Substitute bill po.
That's allowed. Okay. So we will have a substitute bill, and I will sponsor it omnibus. But there will be 100 committee reports signed by the senators, right? Or just one?
One signature page, but individual bills.
There will be individual bills, but one signature page. That's allowed, huh? It has been done, huh?
Yes.
Okay.
for the information, Madam Chair, the past Congress and the 15th Congress, the Northern Negros Natural Park, there was already an approved bill in the lower house, but since it was overtaken by election period, it was not approved here in the Senate, and it was refiled again in this Congress.
Thank you. May I also remind the COMSEC and my staff to request the lower house to move on this? Has it been filed?
It has been refiled. It's there.
Okay, individual, but the 100?
Sa September 24 po ang tentative schedule.
Oo. Sinong congressman nag-file?
Congresswoman Sat.
Okay. Sige.
With
Sige
regards
po.
to the Negros, Madam,
So you will have your own individual law?
there is a House Bill filed 2422.
Opo. Ito po sa Northern Negros, ano po ang mga hamon na kinakaharap ninyo? In short, why is it so important that we declare it into a national park? And what are the threats, the challenges in Northern Negros?
This is the watershed of the whole Northern Negros, and also partly the watershed of in the northern part of the Northern Negros Natural Park. In the southern part, it is also the watershed of the Bago irrigation system, which is about 21,000 hectares irrigated area, and this is the rice granary of the province. If this will not be protected, the irrigated areas will be hampered, and there are many small irrigation impounding system that surrounds this area in the 6 cities and 5 municipalities. So this is the water source of the northern part of the island depends on this natural park. And also
Tanong ko po, sang-ayon po lahat ng mayors dito? Wala pong nag-o-oppose na mayor sa lahat po ng mga cities and municipalities nito?
wala, ma'am. Wala,
Sang-ayon po?
wala. Only there are some small concerns because there are already encroachment, which illegal structures. And also there are 166 species of trees and 140 species of birds and species, and 40% of endemism. This is a very much biodiverse natural park.
Documented ba ho ang mga flora and fauna sa reserve area na ito?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Meron ba ho kayong SUCs in Negros who are helping you in research in that area?
Yes, Madam Chair. The Philippine Biodiverse Conservation Foundation.
Can we request, I'm making a suggestion now for the record, and I'm asking my staff to take note of this, in the hearing for the budget of the SUCs, ima-match natin, at tulungan nyo kami dito, DNR, no? Yung 113, the 13 natural parks, the 100 protected areas which will become natural parks, to match it with the SUC in that city, municipality, or province, so that research and studies can be conducted dedicated to documenting the biodiversity, endemism, challenges, threats in that protected area na sakop ng SUC yun.
We have that already, Madam Chair. What we need is protection.
Protection po, ano pong ibig sabihin nyo? Ano po ang kailangan pag sinabing kailangan proteksyonan?
There got to be a law to really protect it from
Meaning
voucher.
resources and personnel.
Yes. As a matter of fact, the province is spending a lot on the protection now. The province.
I don't want to give you false hopes that if it becomes a law, it will be protected. Because from my experience, even the 13, which are already natural parks, are not as protected as it should be because of limited resources. May we hear from the DNR so that the LGUs who are present here today would understand. Pag sila ba ay naging batas, ay sigurado ba ang proteksyonan nyo? At ano ba ang diferensya nung 13 sa 100 na ating linalatag dito ngayon? Para hindi sila mag-expect tapos ganun pa rin pala ang patakaran.
Madam Chair, we can assure you that once we have the law, we will protect it ourselves, because that is the future of our children. And records will show you that Negros Occidental, in environmental protection, we have already so many awards.
Oh, yes, Gov, you don't have to convince me because I know you're original way ahead of me with Attorney Tony Oposa and what you've done in Sagay. Sagay, which reminds me, Sagay Marine Reserve is a protected area under NIPAS, no?
It has a Republic Act 9.
RA na siya.
RA.
It's one of the 13.
And we just want to pattern it
after Sagay
as with regard to the NLP.
Okay.
Because it is a success story itself.
Very good. So Sagay was covered, just to brief me, Sagay was covered under 1992 NIPAS. Ganun ba yun? Was it? And then it was one of the first na naging RA. It is now RA. They're one of the 13 na nauna. Ano po ang kaibahan bago po nung sila'y sako po ng NIPAS and it became a law? What was the difference in terms of national government support?
Madam Chair, it's more of an NGO initiative. In the law, DNR is supposed to give a budget of 10 million. From the start of that law until now, not even a single centavo was given by DNR.
Bakit po natin hahangarin ngayon itong Northern Negros na maging batas kung yung naging batas na Sagay ay hindi rin binibigyan ng kaukulang pondo ng DNR? Ano hong kaibahan? Yan.
At least there is a law. We are armed with the law mandating vouchers that we can go after them. If
anong sagutin naman ninyo? Bakit hindi
the legal
binibigyan?
Structures, the legal occupants.
Governor, even if there's no RA yet, it's covered by the NIPAS Act. You can demolish those structures and ask illegal settlers to leave.
But there's a threat to be classified as alienable and disposable.
Under the NIPAS? Even if it's covered by NIPAS? No?
It can.
Huh? No, the Northern Negros is covered by NIPAS, right? It's... No, wait. I'm confused. This is... it's proclaimed by the former president. So, there's a presidential proclamation. But it's also part of DPAS. It's a protected area already.
Yes, ma'am. As per
So...
but it is an initial component.
It's covered.
Madam Chair, it is only an initial component.
Covered under NIPAS, which is a law, malakas na po yan. Sakop na po ng batas na protected area. Kaya may karapatan po kayong pangalagaan at paalisin ang mga naninira po dun. Ngayon, papalakasin pa po natin, nagagawin po natin solong batas pagkatapos po ng ating mga hearing. Pero mali ba ako? Hindi ba ako tama? Nasa ilalim ng NIPAS, lahat kayo na nandito ay nasa ilalim ng NIPAS. Yes, Mondita? Lahat.
Yes, ma'am.
Sa ilalim ng NIPAS, may karapatan ba si Governor na pangalagaan ang lugar niya?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Actually, yung proclamation kasi, ma'am, hindi pa permanent yung land classification niya. So with the RA that the bill that you are proposing, they will become national parks permanently under the Constitution. So that will provide them a stronger mandate.
Tama ba si Goff na meron ng threat ngayon of declaring it A&D? Meron. Could be.
Yes, ma'am. There's always a possibility.
Unless this RA is done, I see. Okay.
Yeah, just to contribute, what we're finding in the local government level with NIPAS under DNR, because they're career people, they have less drive to protect it.
Like you're saying it like it is.
Yeah. I mean to be very...
Huwag natin lalahatin. Some.
Okay. Of course, we can understand. They don't want to file cases. They don't want to arrest people. Because it's really more of a burden for a career employee to do that. Just like in South Cotabato, we have to create local counterparts of the institution that should be created by DNR, because we do the arresting, we do the intelligence work, we do the filing of cases, then we file it before DNR, like in illegal logging or timber poaching. Unfortunately, not one of those has been filed in court because we cannot file directly in court. DNR has to file it. In fact, I want to recommend that while it's under a special law, that anybody can file, and DNR will only certify that the logs are illegal, these are not allowed by law, so that they will just become a witness rather than the one who will file. Because if that continue, nothing is filed in court. So the provincial government keeps on arresting, keeps on spending money for intelligence work, who's doing the selling of mercury, who's doing that timber poaching, etc. And yet nothing of that is filed in court. Hanggang DNR lang. Kasi naiintindihan ko naman sila, if you're a career employee, you don't want to file in court where all these big moneyed people will run after you and threaten your life, no? And so I can understand that. But that has to be, that's why maybe the government wanted a Republic Act where the local government has an active role. But, you know, there's always danger. If your problem are the politicians, then it's also a problem. See? So, we need to craft a law or a bill that will address both dangers. The passive one and maybe the active protection of one. It's good if you have governors that are really enthusiastic in protecting their areas, but if they
not
are
everybody are like you and Manong.
Yeah, kaya nga.
Mga iba dyan. Ang kamukha niyong dalawa. Ay, hindi, wag. Okay, strike off the record, di pala. So, ano yung suggestion mo? Does let me see, the concerns of Gov. Fuentes are embodied in our bill?
I'm suggesting that in the individual Republic Acts or bills that we're going to file, because the local governments are really asking for individual bills to be filed, because they said not all problems are similar, so that they can address the particular problems or challenges faced by the area to be declared as protected, that the local government should also be given an active role in the board. Kasi member lang kami, ang member dyan, PEMO namin, hindi kami mismo. See? So we don't sit. Not the chief executive. So,
we will study that amendment. Mandita, sagutin mo yan.
Unlike sa MGB,
double-bladed yan. Pang environmentalist or proactive yung LGU, magandang kasama sa board. Ngunit, pag yung LGU ang kasabwat ng mag-e-exploit, ayoko silang kasama sa board. So, paano yun? Hindi ka naman forever nakaupo dyan.
But, like sa MGB, the governor is only vice chair. It's the regional director who's vice chair.
Hindi naman lahat ng governor.
We implement the policy made by the MGB board. We implement the policy.
Siguro ang nakalagay dyan yung PEMO? What's the PEMO? The Provincial
Environment Management Officer.
Kasi yun ang permanenteng posisyon. Yung LGU, hindi nakasama nyo si board. Oo.
Actually, sa province level, ang representative ay yung PPDO or yung PEMO.
PPDO.
Hindi yung governor.
Not the governor. Pero yung mga mayors, kasama, ma'am, they can be members.
But the problem there is that I have not seen any active prosecution of those who are violating the law. I think that has to be addressed by the Republic Act.
Include the governor. How would it?
Madam Chair,
Apo.
with regards to Negros, the governor is the co-chair in our PAMBI. Co-chairman.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, in the NIPAS itself, the governor is not a member, but we have been, we have seen that in some areas there are very, very active governors, and it has been allowed by the PAMBI themselves that the governor can co-chair with the DENR to
Okay.
provide. Yes,
May I request the two governors present, who happen to be my good friends and who I admire greatly for their proactive stance on environmental issues and many others, to just craft me a very simple amendment per your request that the committee will study. But I have my reservations because you will not be there forever. The power we're giving the LGU, what if nakatagpo tayo na sila ang lagger, sila ang miner, sila ang pinakamayaman doon, pinakamapwersa doon, paano na? Di hawak nila. Nakakatakot. So, we will see the pros and cons.
Kaya lang, kung ang governor mismo ang kalaban, wala pa akong nakita na pambi na nag-file ng kaso sa gobernador. Diba? So parang, even if they're not a member, nobody has the courage also to run after them. But if they're a member, then it's their obligation because they cannot now say na, alam mo, DNR yan eh, wala akong power dyan. Eh, member ka na ng board eh. So, dapat may power ka na. Anong ginagawa mo doon? So, parang, while there's a danger, kasi nakakahiya naman na sa batas, hindi ka member, tapos magpipilit ka na mag-member, di ba? Parang wala ka namang mandate. Kasi like in South Cotabato, we're a little bit worried. Of course, DNR has accepted our active intervention, but in reality, we don't really have. We have to call for them. Every time we make an arrest and etc.
Your regional director, Region 12.
Madam Chair,
Nandito. Opo.
the governor is just the co-chair. The PAMBI is composed of NGOs, mayors. It's a council. It's just one of the many NGOs.
If we put the governor there, what was your rationale for not putting the governor?
It was dun sa ano ma'am, kasi because of the original NIPAS law, hindi talaga isinama. I guess ma'am, for the reason nga that they wanted more permanency, more consistency, but yes ma'am, mayors. Yes ma'am. Yes ma'am.
We'll study it, but we'll include the governors.
We will submit our
Opo, please.
position paper, ma'am.
Opo.
Thank you.
Since hindi ko kayo makita. Penro. Sige ho. Okay. You want to say something? Yes.
I would like to make some contribution insofar as the comment, to the DNR that accordingly nobody in the DNR filed case on illegal exploitation in our, even not only in the protected area but in ordinary places, But I would like to, yes, in the case of the DNR, for in general, just for an understanding about why we really want that there is an RA. We, as my experience in anticipation for 30 years, it is really need for us to put the boundary and the corners on the ground so that it will be forever established on the ground that is a very definite land use of the land. Whether a governor or a mayor will go out from that place or any other leaders that will take over in the future, the land use or land classification of that area will remain. So, meaning to say, in management or managing this land use, it has a very definite boundary, ma'am. We cannot go beyond because even the technical description of that area is recorded and translated or defined under the law. So, I think that is one important thing that we have to consider, that all those protected areas must, as early as we can, we have to establish under a certain law. Because naubos na po ang ating protected areas ngayon. Without those things, I think little of our fit to implement the law. But as I said, the DNR continues its role in protecting, not yung sinasabi kanina na hindi kami nagpapile in Cagayan de Oro. In fact, this today, medyo nagkagulo doon kasi sinira namin lahat ang WPP doon because they have not yet been cleared with the secretary.
Nandito si Mayor, no? You're the Penro of the province, Mayor of Medina. What is the protected area in Misamis Oriental that is on the table now?
Balatukan Mountain Range, Madam Chair.
The only one here in being discussed now in Misamis Oriental.
No, this other one,
Dalawang protected area nyo?
Initaw at saka Libertad. Yes, Landscape and Seascape.
So dalawa po ang nakapending sa Misamis Oriental.
Oh, but the one Mount Balatukan Park has already a draft bill by Senator Ernesto Estrada.
It's under consideration also?
Only a little of correction that he mentioned in his explanatory note that it is 30,000 hectares. Correction, that is 9,646 hectares only.
What's that? The explanatory note is being corrected. Who filed the bill? So, will that hold bearing? Wala naman. In the substitute bill. That's why I request the DNR, including all the agencies of bureau, since you asked me to hear this, to make sure that all the facts, statistics, figures are accurate, no? Namria would be able to determine that, right? Namria is here. Because maybe the individual bills by the other senators are not as accurate as we expect it to be. Like the Penro of Miss Orr is correcting the draft bill on the mountain range. Because I would not know unless you give me the accurate information, please.
Lastly, ma'am, last information for your information, ma'am. No? Talking about the issues now coming in under the omnibus proposed bill. Pwedeng hindi lahat ang mga protected area magawan ng batas dahil may mga conflicts sila. My query is whether we can go on with other areas that have no conflict, like in the case of Mount Balatukan Range. We do not have this similar conflict with them. So, kung maghintay pa kami sa kanila, kailan pa namin matapos yung aming batas? So, I think this has to be treated separately to other PE that are confronted with these tenements or whatever illegal occupation.
Good suggestion. I'll just consult with Emma. Yes, your suggestion is noted, and we will do something about it. That's the reason why it will be individual bills already.
Thank you, ma'am.
Madam Chair, in behalf of the Governor, for his suggestion, Madam Chair, maybe we recognize the need for the immediate passage of your bill, because as agreed by the body, it can really help us, especially by classifying the area as a natural park. Maybe if we can just add a provision that the 100 protected areas that have been enumerated can be subject to further legislation as may deem necessary. However, as of the moment, the enumerated PAs can already be classified as natural parks. Maybe that can be it can fast track. Yes, ma'am.
In fact, all of your submissions, please give to the committee. Any suggestions first to include the governor in the management board, to add that statement, to do it individually, which I already committed to all of you. Yes, this is a hearing and it's not a perfect bill. We will listen to everything that you're saying. Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. May I also request that during the drafting of the bill, can we also be invited?
Oh,
The
yes.
technical
Kaya nga,
working group, ma'am.
after this hearing, we will have a series of, tapusin na, isang upuan na
Yes,
24
ma'am.
hours, magtrabaho kayo. Technical working group.
Yes, ma'am.
Technical working group, tapusin na lahat. So, nag-hearing lang ako by batches, but yung lahat ng 100, mag-hearing kayo na TWG para ayusin isa-isa. Ha?
Madam Chair.
Saan po kayo?
Penro po ng Negros Occidental. I would like to put it on record that the stand of the governor and that of the DNR in Region 6 as far as North Negros Natural Park is concerned ay parallel po. Yung concern ni Gov kanina, yung pag naipas kasi, pag initial pa lang siya, yung law to be referred to ay yung Sanay Pasak. Sanay Pasak, yung chairman po ng PAMBI ay yung red. Yung gusto po natin mangyari, dahil po sa Negros, very active po yung province in tandem po ng DNR. Pero may mga kakulangan po in terms of law to record with, pag pinakagastuhan ng governor, makukuha po siya pag wala siyang authority over the area. So with the law na i-enact natin, including therein either yung chairman ay red, co-chairman yung governor, at least nakalagay na po, kasi sa Naipasak hindi po nakalagay doon. Although yung setup sa Negros under the North Negros Natural Park, yung chairman po ay red, yung co-chair po ay si governor, pero wala po yun sa Naipasak. Inimbento lang namin po through...
So you're saying in the proposed measure for the North Negros to use that as a template for the others?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that correct? In the proposed measure for North Negros? Ganun ba yun? RD at
Yes.
saka governor?
Yes, Madam Chair. Kasi
Oo,
po,
okay.
that way, ma-justify na ni Gov yung mga gasto niya doon. Na ano yung kulang na logistics ng DNR.
Nakikinig ho kayo? Lahat ba kayo
Complement po
agree
yung
sa
ano.
sinasabi po nila? Okay.
Madam Chair, Lieutenant Plano from Haribon.
Dali.
We'd like to
Dinote yun, ha? Oo.
we'd like to respond to that, Madam Chair, because we also filed a bill on the Forest Resources Bill, and one thing that we focus on is the co-management type. As we said, that the environment does not recognize political boundaries, and we are looking into the Ridge to Reef model. So therefore, it is unique to each place, depending on the geography and also the culture. So there are places where you have IPs, there are places where you have LGUs coming together to protect, to declare a particular area as a protected area or their communal forest. So therefore, we would like to submit siguro some of these models. It does not have to be a exact model that everybody will follow, but a template where they could add, depending on the national agencies that are active in the area, especially if there's indigenous peoples there, then IPRA or the NCIP can partner with the DNR, with the local governments, and find a way which is the best workable governance model to govern over the protected areas. Anyway, Madam Chair will submit these co-management models, like what is being done in the Iloilo Watershed Management Council. Is the different LGUs coming together and working with different government agencies relevant, and those even civil society who wants to take part in the management of the protected area.
Please submit it. But we also don't want a board that's too big. Something
Yeah, of
gets
course,
too big, it's
yeah.
not manageable anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, please submit it. Okay.
We'd like to express our support to the proposal of Negros. And I'd like also to add that considering that NIPAS law was issued in 1992, immediately after the local code was issued in 1991. So we believe that hindi pa masyadong digested yung principle on local autonomy and devolution. But now, yung number kasi ng PAMBI from the LGU is the planning office, but LGUs are now having positions of the environment and natural resources officers. Bakit hindi sila ang napasama? So, we'd like also to add on that. Hindi sila kasama sa PAMBI members. And also, if the current bill sana could also include, kasi sa local government code, LGUs are authorized, they're empowered to formulate comprehensive land use plans of which kasama na yung protected areas. So, could we accord the same considerations and sa mga locally declared protected areas like NIPAS? Kasi ang NIPAS is sa taas. Itong kasama sa comprehensive land use plans of which makakasama sa mga zoning ordinances ng cities and municipalities should also be accorded the same, say, respect or what, consideration. Yan lang po, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Actually, this really, your bill is a very good opportunity to exactly do that, because what we're doing now in practice, ma'am, is that the management plan is now we are working with the LGU so that it can be incorporated into their individual CLUPs, so that this is already recognized. And then, ma'am, also because there's a protected area management board, the board actually reflects the constituencies within the PAs. Unlike in previous years before the NIPAS, the forest lands, for example, is purely managed by the national government. But NIPAS areas actually already introduces this collegial management by the stakeholders as well as the national government presence. So that is, ma'am, the value of this, the omnibus now that you have proposed, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Attorney Kivenko, yes, ma'am. We belong to the city of Silay. We are one of the component cities under the province of Negros Occidental. And we fully support the move of our governor for the passage of a Republic Act specifically for the North Negros Forest. However, ma'am, in Silay, we have, I guess we are in a particular situation, a peculiar situation, because after the passage of the NIPAS Act in 1992, in 1995, there was a passage of RA 8059 declaring one of our barangays, Barangay Patag, which is part of NNNP, as a tourist zone. And since it was declared a tourist zone, administrations previous to governor and previous to our mayor, we saw the proliferation now of resorts in the area. Governor is aware that there are, in fact, several resorts in Patag, because in previous years, the settlers there were given stewardships by the DNR, and these beneficiaries of the stewardship somehow sold their rights to businessmen and well, I have to be honest, some politicians who have the resorts there. We entered into that co-management agreement with the DNR, the city of Silay. However, as a small LGU with very little era, we have no teeth. We cannot, and without the RA, ma'am, we cannot demolish these big structures and these big resorts that are now proliferating in the area.
What is the reserve in Silay?
That is Barangay Patag.
Patag?
Patag.
Ano po yan? What is it? A marine reserve?
It is a forest reserve, ma'am.
Sorry. Barangay Patag is a forest reserve.
Yes, ma'am.
It is covered under NIPAS.
Yes, ma'am. It is under the North Negros.
It is part of the
Yes,
North
ma'am.
Negros?
It is part of...
It is part of this?
Yes, ma'am. It is part.
It's part of Bill 326.
Yes.
Is that Patag part of the NIPAS Act?
Yes, ma'am. It was part of the NIPAS Act, but 3 years later, it was declared not as an eco
Paano yun?
tourist destination, but
Can I
a tourist
clarify?
zone.
Can areas covered by 1992 NIPAS, maski wala pang RA, be declared tourist zones? How
It
is
was
that
declared
possible?
an RA, ma'am, by virtue of a law. RA
No,
8059.
it's covered by the NIPAS.
Yes.
It's under the northern Negros mountain range.
Yes.
And forest, etc. Then it was also declared by legislation as a tourist zone?
Yes, ma'am. It was.
Anong batas po yun?
RA 8059.
Ano yun? Anong pangalan po?
It is an act declaring Barangay Patag in Silay City as a tourist zone. It was passed in June 1995.
Hindi pa ako senador niyan.
Opo.
And it was passed by both houses of Congress? It's an RA?
Yes, ma'am. It's an RA.
How do you deal with that? How do you deal with that? Covered ng... Huy, humihirap ang trabaho ko. So, itong gagawin nyo. Yung 100, ilalagay nyo, so ganito i-matrix nyo ko, yung 100, ilalagay nyo kung meron bang logging, mining, energy exploration, etc., legal or illegal. So, we will check, and we'll see if we respect the fire rights, or we will, whatever, we will see that. Number 2, we will check if there is any overlapping RA declaring it as something else, a tourist zone. We'll see that. Maybe this is not the only circumstance where there is an overlapping of RAs. How do you deal with that? May we hear from the DOT? Again, it's not your fault, but this happens, so paano yun?
Ma'am, yung declaration kasi ng tourist zone also respect kung ano yung mga existing land uses in that particular area.
Past na protected
yung
area.
That's why once it is declared as a tourism zone, merong requirement na there should be a tourism development plan that should be prepared by the local government unit in coordination with the Department of Tourism to ensure that, again, the protection and the preservation of the environment is ensured. Kasi sabi ko nga,
yes, the tourism plans should respect, should be harmonized with the land use. In this case, it's very clear. NIPAS was 92, so it's a protected area, and the tourism RA was kaninong batas yan?
It was under President Ramos.
95 pa yan. So, it was declared a tourism zone. Fine, there's nothing wrong with declaring tourism zone as long as it respects its being a protected area. But if you have high-rise structures, resorts, etc., desecrating that, tibagin nyo.
Which is why, ma'am, we really support Governor. We need the RA because we need the fundings and we need the teeth.
What happened to my album? Maybe also ito, apart from my request, can I ask all the 100 protected areas, tell them to submit how it looks now. And please list, we should have requested, please list all the illegal settlers, the threats in those areas. For example, itong sa northern Negros, yung mga nagtayo ng resort, yung hindi rin respeto yung NIPAS noong 1992. Para alam natin, parang nagpunta na rin ako dun. Bibigyan niya ako mga litrato. So you're saying in this soon to be declared northern Negros mountain range, there are resorts which are not in harmony with nature. Do they own the protected area? Are they squatting?
These are in areas that were given certificates of stewardship by DNR.
Ma'am, I think
they were
the stewardship doesn't allow you to construct
Nagugulan ako. Okay, NIPAS, tourism zone. Ano naman yung certificate of stewardship? Sino sa DNR ang nagbibigay niyan? Regional director? Ha? O saan ang FMB dito?
Ma'am,
Sige
yung-
kayo. Pag budget hearing, nandiyan kayong lahat. Pero pag mga hearing na ganito, wala kayo. Si Mundita lang ang palagi rin. Sige, ikaw lang may budget.
Madam Chair. Madam Chair, yung CSA po ay yung nabibigay nung pumapirma. Pag more than 5 hectares ay nasa red po. Pag below 5 hectares sa federal level lang po. Yung ISF mismo, na-devolve na yan sa local government.
Kailan po binigay yung Certificate of Stewardship?
I understand most of the stewardship certificates were given during Marcos time.
Nauna yung stewardship, tapos naging NIPAS, tapos naging tourism zone, tapos magiging natural park. Ayun. Ayun, hindi ko na masolusyon na.
Madam Chair. Madam Chair, may I? What's happening with the CSCs is once it's given to the beneficiary, that's what they're called, the stewards, we don't have control after they sell it. Well, after that, what the DNR is doing, the DNR issues a cancellation order. But after the cancellation order, they're still there.
So the resort's presence is based on the Certificate of Stewardship given in the Marcos time, meaning martial law years, purchased by entrepreneurs and politicians.
Which is not allowed. That's
It's not
right.
allowed.
It's not allowed.
Ilistahan ninyo para alam ko lahat ang aking lahat ng politiko, lahat ng mga negosyante na nandyan sa protected areas, legal or illegal. Yan. Lalagyan natin sa website. The Philippine Protected Areas. Ayan, yung mayor meron dito. Itong negosyante meron dito. Itong mining company na gamina dito. Lalagyan natin yan. Di ba maganda? Ganun na lang. Website. Sino mga politikong meron doon? Baka mamaya makilala ko, ha?
Marami.
Ma'am, lastly, if I may, your RA will actually address that because you already made the provision on tenured migrants, allowing
Very
tenured
good.
migrants.
You're
lang.
reading our
Yeah.
bill. Okay, nagbabasa.
So you
Position mo? Ano ang position mo?
Environment Management Office po ng province. Officer.
Okay. Inaaral mo. You come prepared. Very good. Okay. So, we will pass this soon. Gov. Daisy, ano po yung protected area in your province which is the subject of, is it Lake Cebu? No.
It's Mount Matutong.
mountain
It covers
range.
3 municipalities of South Cotabato, Pulumulok, Tampakan, Tupi, and 2 municipalities of Sarangani, Malungon, and
Sarangani, ma'am, sa Jansan.
no, and General Santos City.
Or Sarangani.
Sarangani Bay.
Only one protected area?
Yeah, there's only one protected area, and we were delayed because the technical description, we harmonized it with NAMRIA, and the actual and harmonize it with those that has become villages already. We took that out. And so, I guess that we don't have really problem, no? Because naayos na namin.
From my home province of Antique, ating protected area dito with Aklan, no?
Good afternoon, Madam Chair. For the province of Antique, we have 2 natural parks. One is the Sibalom Natural Park, located in municipality of Sibalom, and the other one is the Northwest Panay Peninsula, covering 5 municipalities and 2 provinces, no, the province of Aklan and the province of Antique. So for the province of Antique, we have municipality of Libertad and municipality of Pandan, and for Aklan we have Buruanga, Malay, and Nabas. That covers the protected, the Northwest Panay Peninsula for the province of Aklan and Antique. But the bigger area belongs to the province of Antique, which consists more than 7,000 hectares of the total 12,000 hectares for the Northwest Panay Peninsula.
Can you kindly brief me more on the Northwest Panay Peninsula? What is the relevance or the importance of the only remaining low-lying forest? What does it mean? Is it accurate when you call it the only remaining low-lying forest?
I so that is below
Ano ibig sabihin po
1,000 elevations. No, the
the Northwest Panay Peninsula covers the lowland areas of province of Antique. So below the 1,000 elevations, below sea levels, the Northwest Panay Peninsula, and it is the home of endangered species, no? Our flora and fauna, particularly the Tarekte convert, the Visayan spotted deer, no, and the Wardipig. And in fact, Northwest Panay Peninsula is also the source of water for 5 municipalities, including the tourist destination, Boracay Island. And for the...
Boracay nanggagaling dyan?
Yes, ma'am. It's being supplied by the Northwest Panay Peninsula. So, and for
Meron ba kayong logging or mining there or wala po?
Wala po, ma'am. Yung ano lang, mga timber poaching, medyo maliliit. Tapos yung sa mining, we have one approved MPSA last 2001. It was declared as natural park, the Northwest Panay, in 2002. But the PAMBI right now, the interim PAMBI, hold the implementation of that mining.
Ito po ay sakop ng NIPAS 92.
Yes, ma'am.
At hindi pa ito kasama sa 13. That's why we're hearing it, no? This is
Yes,
hindi pa natural park. How come he said it was declared a natural park in 2002?
There is a proclamation, a presidential proclamation. Yes, ma'am. I think 186 last 2002, declaring the Northwest Panay Peninsula as the natural park.
Okay, clarify ko lang. Covered by NIPAS, declared under PD in 2002.
Yes, ma'am.
On the table now as one of the 100.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And no threats except one MPSA.
Yes, ma'am.
Pero hindi po sila nag-extract.
Yes, ma'am. Right now, walang exploration.
Anong kumpanya po ito?
Chudor Mining Corporation, ma'am.
Chudoro Mining. Sino po
Chudor.
ito? Hindi naman siguro kamag-anak ni Governor Sally Perez.
Hindi, ma'am.
Sa Antique.
Hindi, ma'am. Hindi, ma'am. So, ngayon, walang activity sa mining because the PAMBI would not allow it. But for us, for the province of Antique, including the province of Baclan, we are...
Chudor Mining. Sino nagbigay
Chudor, ma'am. Chudor Mining Corporation. Chudor.
What are they mining?
Yung commodity nila is more marble and other products, no? Mineral deposits.
They ever mined at all?
No, ma'am. Wala pa, ma'am.
So abandoned na. They were given an MPSA pero they stopped. Hindi na.
Yes, ma'am. Our PAMBI would not allow
very good
the mining. That is why both Antique and Aklan
so
is recommending.
Maski may MPSA, because the PAMBI did not allow it, they desisted. So kaya nyo. You can stand your ground. Magaling talaga maantikin nyo. O, pwede palang ganun. O, tinan nyo?
So we are pushing for the approval of your bill, ma'am, so that we could strictly implement, because this is one of the requirements in delineation of our strict protection zone and the multiple use zone. So para ma-implementar natin.
Anong ginawa nung may MPSA na mining company nung hindi nyo pinayagan, nung ang PAMBI hindi pumayag?
Wala naman, ma'am. They just, okay lang sa kanila.
Expected it?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, good. O, pwede naman palang ganun eh. So we can, while we say we respect prior rights, but if the PAMBI stands its ground, and those who have MPSAs can go elsewhere.
So that is why to more get stronger the stand of the PAMBI, we are pushing for the approval of this bill. Na whatever permits or claim declared, no, within the protected area, magiging null and void na siya pag nagkaroon na ng Republic Act, para to support the stand of the PAMBI. Na we need to protect the Northwest Panay Peninsula.
Apart from that mining company with an MPSA that's not being used anyway, ano pa ang threats in the Northwest Peninsula?
So far, ma'am, wala na. Yun lang pang threat
good.
doon.
So it's protected. It's good.
Yes, ma'am. And this is the what we call the last frontier for the province of Antique. Yung Northwest Panay Peninsula natin, doon mo lang makikita halos yung malalaki pang mga trees natin. So we need really to protect this.
Sure ka walang illegal logging?
Maliliit, ma'am, pero kayang-kayang ikuha ng sentro natin. Mga maliliit na timber poaching tawag natin, mga kaingin.
Yeah.
So medyo mahirap kasi within the protected areas yun may mga occupants.
So ang low lying 1,000 and below.
Yes, ma'am.
It's the only one. Is it accurate to say?
Yes, ma'am, sa Northwest Panay.
It's the only one in the country.
I just do not know. There is another siguro, ma'am. But for us in the province
how come I was told that it's the only remaining low-lying forest in the country? Huh? Oh.
Probably for the province of Antique.
No, sino nagsabi sa akin noon?
But not for the entire country, siguro.
No, maybe.
But for the, Panay.
Sa FMB, no? Can you check the... Samar, meron? Yes, Miss Garcia po.
Your Honor, Northwest Panay is the only low-lying forest in Panay. I don't know in other part of land. Yes, Your Honor. And then I have information from one of the NGOs supporting Northwest Panay that there is mining in Libertad. Yes, I don't know if the...
bakit hindi nyo alam? Ano yung mining sa
But I was
Libertad?
informed by...
In the forest?
It's near...
Covered by this?
It's near
Covered?
the PA.
Ano pong minimina? Anong kumpanya po? At tanong natin sa Penlo.
Actually, ma'am, yung exploration, I think one of the mayors of the Iloilo, which is, as far as I understand,
yes.
Hindi yung permit, ma'am, sa kanya, nakapangalan. Yung permit.
Kaya nga, yung lahat ng mga threats nyo,
but it was not, yung mismo, yung tao mismo sa site, I think Barangay San Roque of Libertad, stop the operation, nagreklamo sila mismo. So, hindi na tinuloy.
Mayor, sining mayor ng Iloilo? Anong bayan? Anong pangalan? Hindi natatawa kayo. Sino yung mayor? At saka bakit?
As far as I understand, I think it's Mayor Gisri Palmares of Pasay City.
Mayor Palmares as a mining company?
No, mga small-scale mining operations, ma'am. It's not a mining, not a large-scale operation.
But still, he has a mining company, his name is there, and it's registered, and he has an MPSA, and he is mining in Libertad Antique?
Pero hindi, ma'am, natuloy. Because nag-complaint na yung mga tao doon, particularly in barangay.
Bago ang tinutukoy nyo, Ms. Garcia?
Yes, Your Honor, because there is an NGO who is working with this Northwest Panay, and they were the ones who informed
What
me about
NGO
it.
is this, ma'am?
It's based in Pandan, Antique. I forgot the name of the...
Sally, you should know. Anong NGO? Baka ito yung Amerikano mo kanda? Meron mining? Ano nga? Sino?
Yes, actually...
Tuloy? Hindi. You should give me accurate information. Mining, you stop it.
Yes, ma'am. Wala na ngayon, ma'am. As far as the Northwest Panay Peninsula is concerned, wala nang mining operations doon.
Take your word for it. Just make sure, please, that the facts here are accurate.
Yes, ma'am.
That's why in your reports to me, please, include the threats. No? The challenges, because we may not be able to solve it, whether it's the structures in the beach houses, in the mountains, brought about by certificates of stewardship that were sold, or a mayor who encroached into another province, allegedly, again, I don't want to judge, who is supposedly mining, but all of these, para makita ko yung whole picture, so that also, when I defend this on the floor, I can tell them that these are the challenges. So if we postpone the declaration, the enactment into law, ito ang mangyayari. Mauubos lahat ng mga bundok at mga anong ito. Yes. Yes, si Mayor Coro, kamusta po kayo?
Good morning po, Madam Chair. I'd just like to share siguro, ma'am, some sentiments for Siargao Islands. We're quite different from the different PAs, since we're basically, it covers the whole district. And the whole group of islands wherein we have inhabitants that have been living there for, I don't know, past 100 years. So the treatment of the PA of Siargao is it's very tricky for us if we're gonna treat the whole seascape and landscape as a PA. Because if we follow the tenorial instruments that are issued, more or less parang sinasabing umalis na lang kami sa isla. Lahat kami, wag nang tumira doon kasi PA siya. So I'm not sure if how we will treat the RA for C+. It is now still considered the largest marine protected area in the country at almost 278,000 hectares. But because there are people who have been living there for the past so many years, including myself and my family. Hindi ho namin alam kung pwede ba siyang gawing parang parcels of land lang ba or parcels of water, not to really declare the whole area, or if the stand of because we have Director Lim here, if the stand really of DNR is to declare the whole group of islands of Siargao, including Bocas Grande, as a protected area, then what is the arrangement of how people will live in that PA, because nauna na sila dun eh. At the same time, Siargao is now declared a very popular tourist destination, and it's really growing. And that's our challenges, is the development that we are trying to put into place to have sustainable development, not only affecting Siargao, Surigao, but in fact it also contributes directly to the growth target of the Department of Tourism. We are doing a lot of work already on the ground, including paving of the roads, building good ports, developing the airports, and everything. So in my honest opinion, we don't really know how to deal with the PA and how to go about it in the future. Another issue po is in terms of
ilang bayan po ang Siargao?
We have 9 municipalities and 132 barangays.
Hindi naman pwedeng umaalis lahat yan. We will respect all of you who live there, but it just means, Mondito will explain technically, but clearly it doesn't mean that we will relocate everybody and it will be a no man's zone. Hindi po ganon.
And the other issue po is in terms of administration, because the group of islands is basically covered under the PA, is the whole District 1. There is now a lot of questions in terms of the power of PAMBI versus the administrative powers of the provincial government and the representation of the district. So pag magiging masyadong malakas ang PAMBI, ano na po yung magiging role ng aming governor over PAMBI, over the rules that the provincial government will try to provide, na baka mas mataas pa sa PAMBI guidelines na gagawin. So yung co-management na model po, medyo hindi ho klaro din sa amin pagdating po, pag naging batas po siya. Kasi we were reviewing the different terms and compositions of the PAMBI, and I'd like to acknowledge the two governors who are here, that there's probably really a need to include the governors in the composition of the PAMBI. Because
can you kindly submit to us your concerns and your suggestions on how to refine the measure? Because as I said, each individual PA will become a natural park individually. So while it's filed in an omnibus, it will be sponsored. It will become a law individually. So yours could be different in the way it's treated in other areas. So you submit to the committee your concerns. Definitely, we will respect the people who are living there. Mandita, sinabit yung sa akin na omnibus bill. Siargao, for example, 9 municipalities. What do you do with that?
Ma'am, first on the concern of the Protected Area Management Board, I think that was already discussed, so we will allow yes, ma'am. But in previous discussions, there are certain measures like respecting title prior rights. So if the areas are already titled, then the protected area, the proclamation or the bill, the act will actually respect that. And then there are also tenurial instruments that can be issued, and there's also zoning. So actually, that was what was also being mentioned earlier. The national government would prioritize the areas that are already under the Public Act for zoning plans. So areas that can be used for, because ecotourism is one of the activities that is more consistent with the protected area objectives. So the areas can actually be zoned as multiple use, and then there are also strict protection zones. The main objective, of course, of the PA is to still protect the the area. So that's why sustainable development is encouraged. So it doesn't, when you say protected area under NIPAS or national park, it doesn't strictly mean total protection. So, Madam Chair, actually, it allows specific activities for as long as it will be consistent with the objective of protection. And I believe that's also the desire of the local government, because we want our resources to be available for us here and for future generations, even with the commercial activities ongoing.
Ma'am, if I may add, what about tenorial instruments like certificate of land ownership that are issued recently by the DAR? Meron bang magkakaroon man ng moratorium, like we stop issuing whatever tenorial instruments while we're processing or doing this bill? Kasi the process for issuing those are still ongoing, and we've been receiving a lot, and we really don't know what to do.
But now, I don't have I wish I could, but I don't have the power to say everybody stops until, so I want to speed this up and enact it into law. And yes, we will respect, of course, the titled areas, people who live there, etc. But of course, kung walang pinahawakan na legal na instrumento, hindi pwedeng tumira doon. At kailangan yung mga nakatira doon, maski ba mayroon silang titulo, ay pangalagaan yung, it's for their own interest, right? You don't do blast fishing, you don't do mining, you don't do whatever destroys the environment or is extractive. That's the interest of everybody who lives there. Now, is there a moratorium now while we're hearing it? I cannot do that. I wish I could. That's why the soonest possible time that we enact this into law, the better for everybody. But don't worry, we will respect, of course, the people who live there. It's 9 municipalities. It's half of the province, you know.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair. Sorry. I'm Attorney Dan Gonzalez, Assistant Corporate Secretary of Petro Wind Energy Incorporated. We're presently developing a wind energy project wherein Nabas and Malay Aklan. So as a very brief background of our project, we are the service contractor of the Department of Energy. We've been given a service contract to develop and utilize the wind energy resource within certain portions of Nabas and Malay Aklan. So we're developing, we've been issued by the DOE a certificate of commerciality, confirmation of commerciality, which thus allowed us to go into development. So at present, we're developing the project into 2 phases. Phase 1 is outside of the Northwest Panay Peninsula Natural Park, and Phase 2, which is within the Northwest Panay Peninsula Natural Park. So just to be clear, right now we're developing Phase 1 outside of the park, and we have no activity yet within the natural park. So,
See, what corporation?
Petro Green Energy Inc. Corporation and Petro.
No, I thought my consultation was with the DNR and the LGUs. No, I am not familiar that there is a private corporation here, but I'm hearing you out. Anyway, RE naman yan, di ba?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there anything in our bill that prohibits RE?
No, ma'am. It actually allows others aside from your omnibus bill, there's that filed by Senator Nancy Binay. There's a provision there which we expressly support that states that renewable energy projects, including wind energy projects, would be allowed within the park, subject to the discretion of the PAMB. So that's why we're supporting the bill, because it gives power to the PAMB to determine certain projects that would be allowed inside the natural park. So under the NIPAS Act, it's stated there that energy projects would be allowed inside the park only upon the enactment of a law.
Okay,
so
your wind energy project is within the Northwest Peninsula.
Phase 2 of the project is within.
But
so
right
there's
now
a portion.
it's outside.
Yes, ma'am.
How many
Phase
megawatts will you generate?
50 megawatts total. So that within the park is 14 megawatts. So right now we're developing phase 1, which is 36 megawatts.
So when will it be operational?
For phase 1, we target commercial operations by first quarter of 2015. And if we would be if the law would be enacted,
Are you providing your energy for the provinces of Aklan and Antique, or you're selling it to the grid?
it would be sold to the Visayas grid under the feed-in tariff system of the government.
How much does the government buy per kilowatt hour?
Under the feed-in tariff, it's 8 pesos and 53 centavos. So this was approved by the ERC. So, but this has not been implemented yet because they're waiting for this wind energy projects to be put up.
Total would be 50 megawatts.
Yes, ma'am.
Is it the only wind project in the Visayas?
I think there's one in Guimaras. So I think that's the other wind energy project, and then our company.
Why did you choose the Northwest Panay Peninsula?
We, based on our technical study, there's strong wind velocity within, at least in the northern edge.
Did you have to mine to cut trees to?
No, we just had to install 2 wind masts outside of the park, and the purpose of this wind mast was to measure wind velocities, and then our technical consultants then were able to map out the areas within Nabas and Malay where strong wind velocities are present.
Is Petrogreen a foreign company or Filipino?
It's a Filipino company. The mother company is Petro Energy Resources Corporation, which is a publicly listed corporation.
Okay. Is there anything that prohibits? Hindi naman eh, no?
We just want to express the enactment of this law because it would thus regulate our entry, and it would allow renewable energy projects within the natural park.
In addition to that, the PANB already give the clearance to the Petroen regarding their projects, and it was endorsed already to our RED and Regional Executive Director in Region 6, and the governor, the local government also endorsed that as energy project in the province of Aklan. Thank you, ma'am.
I support RE projects, of course. There should be, as long as they comply, of course, with the...
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Kayo po.
Good noon, Madam Chair.
Cebu.
From Cebu.
And what is your protected area?
We have about 8 protected areas for Region 7. The Chocolate Hills, the Dipa, the Talibon Group of Islands, the Rahasi Katuna Protected Landscape, the Albuquerque Loay Lubok Protected Landscape and Seascape, the Apo Island Protected Landscape and Seascape.
Apo Island is in Negros Oriental.
Yes.
Sakop din ng Bohol.
Sakop ng Negros Oriental.
Yes, okay.
Then Tanyon Strait Protected Seascape, and the Balinsasayao Twin Lakes Natural Park, and the Panglao Island Protected Landscape and Seascape. So these are the things that we'd like to share with the... Yes. We are actually they are the tourist attractions in the Central Visayas.
Is there any, do you have any opposition? Do you support the measure?
We fully support the measure, but we'd like to add some ideas how we can have a better management of the protected areas. Number one is that we raised the concerns of the LGUs that they should have more power in the Protected Area Management Board. And likewise, we could also consider the idea of providing them co-management or local conservation areas, because in certain areas they are very small protected areas, like it's only mangrove areas, hundreds. But I don't think so that the national government should focus more on these small areas, wherein the local government could also manage well these areas. So I think that's also one management regime that we can adopt in this bill. Another is that Region 7 has a unique protected area, which is the Tanyon Strait Protected Seascape. It has composed of 370 PAMB members, compared to the Apo Island, who has only 5 PAMB members. So we are suggesting that we should have a unique arrangement in a PAMBI template, like creating a site management unit for south, east, or west, so that we can manage well these large protected areas. Because right now it's not provided in the law that it doesn't mention any site management unit in small portion. Also, since Twin Lakes is a wetland at the same time, most of the species identified in the area are mostly the terrestrial and the aerial species, but in the flora and fauna. But we don't have so much data on the wetland, the freshwater species. Then for the Chocolate Hills, we know that this is a unique protected area because this is composed of several hills. So the concern now is the prior rights between of these hills. So yes, they're actually farms and they have titled lots there. So how we are going to consider now the delineated area of the Chocolate Hills? Should it be encircled per hill, or should be the whole area, then respect the prior rights in between of these hills? So I think that should be also considered. Then another concern of the LGUs there is that this is a geological monument actually. So the people are flocking there to see the hill. But now, because of the evolution of our environment, there are now trees covering these hills. So there's a dilemma now, is there to cut the trees or retain the unique features of the hills. So the board actually endorsed that there are certain areas of the Chocolate Hill wherein we should maintain the dome shape of the hills, because it's that tourist attraction in the area. So I think that's also be considered in terms of geological monuments. Then in terms of the tenurial instrument, we also have a case like that in the Central Cebu Protected Landscape. Has already a Republic Act. The concerns also of the people is that yes, we respect the prior rights and they have the family, but how about their family members who later needs also additional space for their family? So we could not just be contained in just 100 square meter. So that's their concern. Because just yesterday we had a General Assembly and it was raised by the all members of the board. For the CEC, the Certificate of Stewardship contract, it has a tenure age limit of 25 years. So meaning if they were issued way back before, this CEC should have been cancelled already because the government did not renew actually the Certificate of Stewardship. So those are the main concerns of Region 7 that we'd like to share.
I think we've heard, and those who have not spoken are covered the one because you have submitted your position papers. And when you return to your respective areas, if you think based on consultation or an afterthought, there are additional inputs you'd like to give to the committee, please feel free to do so. I will adjourn the hearing. Can I adjourn? Pwede na? Anyway, if I need, I can call another hearing, no? But we may call another one if the need arises for another hearing and or a technical working group. We will take into consideration everything that you have said. Of course, we will respect prior rights if they have tenurial instruments. We will strengthen the PAMBI to involve the local governments, namely the governor the governor which was not present in the existing bill. We will also request from you all of the threats and challenges in your respective areas, including powerful businessmen or politicians who have laid claim illegally on those areas. I cannot solve it, but at least I know, so that later on when it's a law, they would know when to leave. That and many others. In the meantime, that it's not yet a law, may I request both the DNR officers in charge and the local governments, because it's covered by NEPAS anyway, which is already a law since '92, to protect it until such time, hopefully within the year, that I'm able to pass this. So I beg for your support. I need you there when I support it on the floor. And what you could help me politically is to write all the senators so that hindi na ako papahirapan dito. Especially the re-electionists. So, please write, no, I'm not kidding, lahat ng 100 na yan, lahat ng nag-hearing sa atin, to write all the, they would have a barrage of letters, please declare this, it is of urgent concern. Support this when it comes to the floor. If they see that, oh, di ba, kasi nakahirap dyan, just one, with hostage one area, there we go. I want to finish this within the year. That's the reason why I've been working during this break. I've been holding marathon hearings, and I want the TWGs to finish before SONA on Monday. Mag-TWG kayo. Ayusin nyo lahat ng kinks na yan so that I can sponsor it within the month of August and we finish it before adjournment in September. That's my timeline. Hindi ko nung kaya ng stuff ko. Kaya nyo? Hindi kasi budget na eh. After that, budget na. Ang dami ko nang gagawin na naman. Pero hihiling ko po sa inyo na sulatan nyo lahat ng 23 senators na tulungan po tayo dito para wala na pong mga kontra. At ito naman ay matagal na pong kailangan gawin. Kaya lang ngayon lang ako naging chair ng committee nito.
Madam Chair? Ma'am? Yes, good morning, ma'am.
Board member.
Yes, ma'am, our only concern in Agusan Marsh, ma'am, although there is an existing bill, proposed bill of Senator Pia Cayetano, which is Agusan Marsh Water Sanctuary. However, ma'am, our concern with your bill, ma'am, with the NIPAS law is that the declared, of course, the declared areas is only 14 and the buffer is 4. The existing right now, the protected area has been expanded. The expanded area is about 26,000 plus. And these are locally legislated protected areas.
Clarify. Kamukha yan. COMSEC and DNR. Kailangan kayong magtugma. Yung kanina sa Misamis Oriental, sa bill ni Senator JV, mali, o baka naman hindi siya mali, meron siyang ibang source nung area.
Correct.
Ito naman, sa bill ni Senator Pia, iba naman yung local legislation na bagamat hindi nasama doon, pero dapat i-expand yung protection.
Yes, ma'am.
So you have to, yung submission ninyo ay napakahalaga at i-validate yan sa NAMRIA. Clear yan, ha?
Yes, ma'am.
Iba yung sa NAMRIA, iba yung bill na ginawa ng senador, kung saan man yung source nila, at iba pa yung sa locally legislated na gustong palawakin yan.
Yes, ma'am.
Kaya, iisa-isahin nyo yung 100 na yan, ha? Hindi pwede nga, omnibus, ipasalat, iba-ibang... ganun ang gagawin nyo.
Yes, ma'am. I was actually supposed to recommend also NAMRIA kasi meron na pong substitute bill sa lower house. Iba rin ho ang total area from
NAMRIA should always be present in the technical working group. There should be ito, BMB because kayo nabigay sa akin ito, MGB because yan ang mga mahilig mag-mine sa protected areas, NAMRIA because sila ang sumusukat nito.
Yes.
Ano pa? EMB? EMB? Should be there. FMB.
Yes.
FMB and EMB sa TWG nandun. At lahat ng Penro at RD. So pag TWG nyo, ika-cluster din nyo like I clustered it in my hearings. Because I don't want to craft a wrong law.
Correct.
Na mali. Sabihin nila sa akin sa Agusan na, hindi sinama ito. O sa ibang area naman, sinama kami, hindi naman kami kasama. Ganun, ha?
Yes, ma'am. You're not in consonance pa with Senator Cayetano's bill. So, yun yung concern namin, ma'am, when we saw your bill. So, I hope with NAMRIA's help also, you could finally correct the...
No, because how would she know that there was local legislation? Hindi naman niya alam.
I think she had a talk with her technical working group. That's the reason why medyo closer po with the lower house bill, the substitute bill from our representative, it's closer. So, however, sa inyo po, medyo malayo-layo pa po. The 26,000 was not included.
Sa akin?
Yes po.
Sa omnibus?
Yes po.
Sila tigyan. It's the omnibus na malayo sa...
Yes po.
But yung kay Senator Pia at sa lower house?
Medyo closer na po.
I see. Yung sa akin ang galing sa DNR, bakit kayo ganon?
proclaim lang po sa
because
atin. Yes,
it
ma'am.
was based on
Yes,
the
ma'am.
presidential
Yes, ma'am.
proclamation. Paano nag-increase?
Local po. Local
Sa
legislature po.
local.
Yes, ma'am.
I see. Okay, ito ang kailangan natin i-ascertain because we can't keep on increasing because we are basing this also on local, on presidential proclamation. Does it mean that I would need another legislation to increase the other areas to increase it?
No, ma'am. Ang concern ko lang kasi, ma'am, under Section 4 of your bill, ma'am, the scope and coverage, which states that upon the effectivity of this act, no modification of the boundaries of the foregoing protected area shall take effect except pursuant to an act of Congress, and our representative is doing it right now. So, kung mauna po kayo, tapos na-approve po itong 14,000 lang po, tapos yung sa kanya po.
No. Sabayan eh. Congress
Okay.
works as a whole. I don't do my own because it would be a BICAM.
Okay.
And we will harmonize.
Yes,
we will only have one law.
Yes, ma'am.
The Senate and the House will not have individual laws. We have individual bills, but it will be harmonized and only one law will be passed based on our consultation with what you're suggesting with the NAMRIA. Now, my only question is, because you based it on the presidential proclamation and they're basing it on expanded area of local legislation, sabagay, how would you know what the local legislation is? That's why we need all the inputs from you.
Yes, ma'am.
But please do not worry that there will be two laws. That doesn't happen because Congress only enacts one law.
Yeah, ang sa amin lang po kasi baka anyways, ito pong kang Senator Pia, which will be tackled this afternoon also, ma'am. Although andito na po ang governor namin as the co-chair in the management board, ang sa amin lang, ma'am, talagang correct yung even the expanded areas po, masali po.
Yun ang inyong hingin po.
Concern namin,
Okay,
ma'am.
pasok po nyo yan. Tapos sa TWG, uulitin ko, iisa-isahin nyo lang concerns ng sa hearing, ha? Oo. Kaya ba nyo gawin yan? Sige. Kaya.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hindi. The deadline for all the inputs and all the position papers is end of office hours on Friday. To email it, bigyan nyo email nyo. Email na lang. Or email or fax. Email's better. Opo.
Ma'am, I have another concern. The bill of Senator Binay includes only the municipality of Libertad. It did not, it has only 3,326 meters, hectares.
Lahat naman po ito ng individual bills ng mga senador ay i-harmonize po sa omnibus bill. At kung mali pa rin at hindi accurate yung omnibus bill, i-harmonize po sa pagkonsulta po sa lahat.
Yes.
That's why there are these
Okay, Your Honor.
consultations. Iisa-isahin po yan bawat area. 100.
Okay, Your Honor. Thank you, Your Honor.
Kaya lahat pa na makikita nyong mali o kulang o gusto nyong gawin, basta i-assess namin, sa huli, hindi naman pwedeng lahat ng inputs ay masusunod. Kung ano ang tama, anong tingin namin ay but we will listen because kayo nakakalam, area nyo yan eh.
Yes, Your Honor.
Importante, accurate ang impormasyon. Ayokong gagamitin ang aking komite to get back for political vendetta, to besmirch the reputation of this company, this politician. Hindi ganun. We're really doing it for protection and conservation.
Ma'am, for the case of Agusan Marsh, we already submitted the updated technical descriptions, including na po yung sinasabi niyang expansion. So, proclamation plus expansion. So, in case po na ma-approve po ito, na-pass na po namin yung correct technical descriptions at pumayag na po yung BMB na yung expansion na yun.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I thank all of you for coming during this stormy, rainy day. Yes, Hadja.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Britain Code has two protected areas nakapropose po dun sa ending bill, and certainly we are very supportive of that. Firstly, because these are really needing protection, stronger protection. Secondly, is that these protected areas under the NIPAS are considered initial components, and it gives us difficulty in collecting users fees because PA users will always tell us that such a protected area is only an initial component, and therefore we urge that the congressional enactments shall be fast-tracked para po doon sa collection of users fees. Madam Chair, there are certain issues affecting the protection of these two protected areas, the Sarangani Bay Protected Seascape and the Mount Matutong Protected Landscape. These issues will be submitted to your committee, Madam Chair, but I would like to make mention of few of the concerns. One is for the Sarangani Bay Protected Seascape. The issue on the lack of proper docking areas for ships within the Sarangani Bay is among the issues and concerns that is challenging the PANBI on how to address this one. So, wala po silang designated na docking areas for boats. So that paminsan po nakakadak po sila dun sa sisira po yung coral reef. So yun ang isa sa findings ng assessment ng Protected Seascape. For the Mount Matutong, we had a lot of prior rights to respect. One is the CLOA, secondly the CABP. We also have the SMI mining, Sagittarius Mining Corporation. So all of this, Madam Chair, will be submitted to your committee for evaluation. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Una na. So thank you very much for your presence, for your input. So rest assured that all of these will be taken into consideration, and we just want the best law possible. Mundita, tulungan mo sila, ha? Thank you. And please be available. So end of Friday this week for your inputs, for your submissions. If you can give it now, so much the better. And all your contact details, di ba? Lahat meron tayo, ha? Email, lahat. Did you do that also for our political office, Rachel? Huh? Yes. Okay. Sige. Thank you po.